Wake up. Come on, that's it. Look, you've been out for days, and they've drugged you. How do I know? Well, as a prisoner here myself, it's not something I can choose to ignore. Look, they want something from you. You're not normal. Why am I whispering? We're in a prison. I'll get to that later. You're able to read what others can't. SCPs. Knowledge from unknown artifacts, apparently. I've heard the Keeper... Wait. What's that? Shh. He's coming. Look, to regain your thoughts, you must read these. Here, take a look at the first one. Something about a mask.
SCP-035. Object Class Keter. Special Containment Procedure. SCP-035, the Possessive Mask, is to be kept within a hermetically sealed glass case, no fewer than 10 centimeters, 4 inches thick. This case is to be contained within a steel, iron, and lead-shielded room at all times. Doors are to be triple locked at all times, with the exception of allowing personnel in or out. No fewer than 2 armed guards are to be posted at any time. Guards must remain outside at all times and are not allowed within the containment room under any circumstances. A trained psychologist is to remain on site at all times. Research personnel are not to touch the mask at any time. The mask must be moved to a new sealed case every 2 weeks. The previous case must be disposed via SCP-101, as it shows no adverse reactions to the mask's corruption. Anyone who comes in contact with the mask when it is in possession of a host, immediate psychological evaluation. Description: the mask appears to be white, porcelain, a comedy mask, although at times it will change to tragedy. In these events, all existing visual records, such as photographs, video footage, even illustrations of the mask, automatically change to reflect its new appearance. A highly corrosive and degenerative viscous liquid constantly seeps from the eyes and mouth holes of the mask. Anything coming into contact with this substance slowly decays over a period of time, depending on the material, until it has decayed completely into a pool of the original contaminant. Glass seems to react the slowest to the effects of the item, hence the construction of choice of its immediate container. Living organisms that come into contact with the substance react much the same way, with no chance of recovery. Origin of the liquid is unknown. Liquid is only visible from the front and does not emerge or is even visible from the other side. Subjects within 1.5 to 2 meters, 5 to 6 feet, of the mask or in visual contact with it experience a strong urge to put it on. When the mask is placed on the face of an individual, an alternate brainwave pattern from the mask overlaps that of the original host, effectively snuffing it out and causing brain death to the subject. Subject then claims to be the consciousness contained within the mask. The bodies of possessed subjects decay at a highly accelerated rate, eventually becoming little more than mummified corpses. Nevertheless, the mask has demonstrated the ability to remain in cognitive control of a body, experiencing severe structural damage. Even if the subject's body is literally decaying to the point where motion is not mechanically possible, it still seems to move. No effect is found to be had when placed on the face of an animal. Conversations with the mask have been informative. Researchers have learned various details about other SCP objects and history in general, as the mask have been at many momentous events. The mask displays a highly intelligent and charismatic personality, being both amiable and flattering to all those who speak with it. The mask is scored in the 99th percentile on all intelligence and aptitude tests administered to it, and appears to have a photographic memory. However, psychological analysis has discovered the mask to possess a highly manipulative nature, capable of forcing sudden and profound changes to the interviewer's psychological state. The mask has proven to be highly sadistic, prompting some to commit suicide and transforming others into near mindless servants with linguistic persuasion alone. The mask has stated that it has intimate knowledge of the workings of the human mind, and implied that it could change anyone's views if given enough time. Scientific notes towards the mask. Event 1. The mask was found in a sealed crypt in an abandoned house in Venice in 18 unknown. Event 2. The mask has been found to be able to possess anything that has a humanoid shape, including mannequins, corpses, and statues. The mask has been able to motivate all into movement, removing the need to expose live subjects to the mask. Still, anything it possesses inevitably decays into motionlessness. Event 3. The mask has facilitated an escape attempt, convincing several of the research staff to aid it in its bid for freedom. Insurrection failed. All staff that have been in contact with the mask have been terminated, and mandatory psychiatric evaluations have been implemented for all personnel coming in contact with the mask. Event 4. It has been determined that the mask is capable of telepathy, whether or not it possesses a host, even penetrating to the subconsciousness of others, and using the knowledge it finds to its advantage. Extreme caution is advised when choosing subjects to converse with the mask. Event 5. The mask has expressed an interest in other SCPs, most notably SCP-517 and SCP-682. Dr. Data Unknown has expressed worry that should the mask bond with either, their regenerative qualities would negate its corruption and give it a permanent host. Event 6. After several more escape attempts, and after reviewing the mask's incident record, High Command has ordered that it be permanently sealed within the facility and prohibited from being allowed any more hosts. Several personnel have protested against this, with some even erupting into violence. As a direct result, all personnel that have come into contact with the mask have been terminated. Going forward, all personnel that deal with the mask are to be rotated frequently, and contact is to be limited even to its dormant state, to as little as possible. Event 7. Personnel within 10 meters of the mask have recently reported feeling uneasy, stating that they can hear unintelligible whispers. Several others have suffered from severe migraines. The mask has been monitored, but there is no change in its dominant behavior, and no sounds have been recorded. The motion to reinstate the mask's host privileges had been brought up once more, if only on a temporary basis, to discover this new change in the mask's behavior. Outcome: denied. Event 8. The walls of the mask containment cell have suddenly begun secreting a black substance. Tests on the substance have revealed it to be human blood, although highly contaminated with several foreign and unknown agents. Substance is corrosive, having a pH of 4.5, and prolonged exposure to the walls have proven to be detrimental to their structural integrity. More notable, it seems to be forming patterns on the walls. Several segments seem to be paragraphs in various languages, including Italian, Latin, Greek, and Sanskrit. Translation is pending. Other segments appear to be diagrams depicting ritualistic sacrifice and mutilation, often for the arcane benefit of the person committing them. Several staff members have been shocked to note that all their sacrifices bear an uncanny resemblance to various personnel and their loved ones, often in conflicting positions. Researchers, while in the room examining these newly formed patterns, have complained of hearing loud whispering and high-pitched unnerving laughter at irregular intervals. Personnel in the section working daily near and around the mask's containment unit have suffered catastrophic morale damage, with an all-time high suicide rate in staff in that area, whether or not they have ever had contact with the mask. The only change in the mask's dominant behavior is regarding its contained glass case. Degradation of its case has increased to a high degree. Enough so that the glass will occasionally shatter, causing a wide dispersal of the mask's contaminant. This occurs quite often and at the most impromptu times, so far resulting in 6 casualties and 3 fatalities of both research and cleanup staff. Event 9. In light of the mass suicide and homicide of the members of the research team tasked with translating the passages garnered from the mask's containment cell, the morale damage in the area, and general loss of staff dealing with the masks to either death or insanity, it has been decided to coat the inner and outer walls of its containment cell with SCP-148, which is proved well in the containment of SCP-132. See document 13201. In order to hopefully block out the high levels of negativity being emitted by the mask. Event 10. The use of SCP-148 has worked well, causing morale and suicide rates to return to near pre-the mask rates. However, the material appears to facilitate the negativity within the cell, causing a veritable greenhouse effect inside. Personnel inside the cell have stated that they feel a very heavy sense of dread, fear, anger, and general depression, as well as hearing constant, nearly inaudible whispering upon immediate entry. A prolonged stay causes severe migraines, suicidal tendencies, heavy hemorrhaging of blood vessels around the eyes and inside the mouth and nose, general hostility to others, and for the whispering to increase to an almost deafening volume, intersected by a constant mocking laughter. Exposure of more than 3 hours inevitably results in the subject falling into a deep psychosis and attempting to harm either themselves or others. Most speak in Latin or Greek, despite the fact that several did not previously know how to speak said languages beforehand. The presence of blood in both word and diagram formations have increased disproportionately. The walls become cluttered and the formations beginning to overlap each other. The substance has proven to be both difficult to clean and even more corrosive than was originally recorded, with a pH of roughly 2.4. General estimations give the current walls a life of 2 months. It has become gradually more and more difficult to contain the mask, and the debate to reinstate its host privileges has once again come up. The outcome? Denied. Event 11. The walls, ceiling, and the floor of the mask containment cell have now been completely saturated in blood. All personnel entering and guarding the area must wear full hazmat protection suits. Constant cleaning efforts are being instated. Event 12. The magnitude, intensity, and reoccurrence of the phenomena that occurs within the mask containment cell have increased to an alarming degree. The cell door has now become locked on its own accord, while personnel are inside and are unable to open it for a period of time. Appendages from out of the larger puddles of blood are often attempting to grab or harm personnel near them. Blurry apparitions have started appearing to the staff. Electronic devices no longer work inside the cell, and the lights cannot be turned on, though there is no physical reason why it does not work, forcing those entering to use non-electronic based light sources. Cleaning measures have no discernible effect on the cell, and the walls are degrading at a very high rate, forcing them to be replaced within a week at best. Although the blood makes it nearly impossible to properly achieve this, the mask may have to be moved to a new cell entirely, with the old one sealed off and disengaged from the rest of the facility. SCP-035. The mask closed.
Hey, take it easy. Rest. You look different somewhat. These SCP readings take a toll on you. For now, rest, and we'll save the number for the next time.
Thank you for listening to the very first episode of our SCP series. There's going to be loads more to come, so stay tuned. Be sure to visit our SoundCloud, join our Facebook page to make suggestions, and visit me on YouTube if you enjoyed that platform more. And as always, till next time, Tale Tellers.